Welcome to Liberty News TV. I'm Norvell Rose. A lot to cover today, so let's jump right in it. First, Time Magazine's Person of the Year is the Pope. Among those on the final list of top contenders for Time's annual honor, Texas Senator Ted Cruz, NSA leaker Edward Snowden, raunchy twerker Miley Cyrus, and the clueless queen of HHS, Kathleen Sebelius. Speaking of Ms. Sebelius, she has now called for an official investigation of herself, asking her agency to launch a formal probe into the disaster that she was in charge of, the debacle of a debut for the Obamacare website. And now, HHS releases new numbers for Obamacare enrollees for the month of November. Wow, a few 100,000 more. Still far short of pre-launch projections, far fewer than the millions whose existing health care insurance policies have been canceled, with no clarity as to whether those enrollees have actually bought new policies or whether the data now being given to health insurance companies is any more accurate or complete. Yeah, baby, maybe that head-spinning, eye-rolling confusion helps explain why President Obama's approval numbers keep dropping, like those global cooling temperatures we're now hearing about. A new national poll from Quinnipiac finds that just 38% of registered voters give Mr. Obama a thumbs up, while 58% give the president a thumbs down, a gaping 20% gap to the negative. Bad numbers also from a new NBC News Wall Street Journal poll. And if you ask Michelle Obama, her approval rating for the first hubby might be on the downswing as well. I mean, did you see the dirty looks and bad body language the First Lady gave to Mr. O at, of all places, the memorial service for Nelson Mandela? Here you have this solemn occasion with heads of state gathered from around the world. And what does our president do? He snaps a selfie, a cell phone pic. Then he cozies up to the attractive Danish Prime Minister. After that, guess what? Michelle and Barack changed seats, putting the frowning wife between Barry and the blonde. More strangeness from the Mandela Memorial. The man supposedly providing sign language interpretation, standing right there next to the president as he praised the late South African leader. This fellow was apparently a phony. Numerous sign language experts say his hand gestures were largely nonsensical. Well, how appropriate that this fake was performing right next to a president who's been faking it for 5 years now. Back in Washington, a proposed federal budget, a 2-year bipartisan deal, is getting a going-over on Capitol Hill, where there's at least some hopeful speculation as to why Republican Congressman Paul Ryan reached this compromise with Democrat Senator Patty Murray. Conservatives who claim the deal pretty much stinks are crossing their fingers that the GOP strategy is to take budget issues off the political table, to let next year's campaigns be all about Obamacare. The train wreck law remains highly unpopular, and Senate Democrats are fearful that they will lose control of the upper chamber in 2014. And with all the attention being paid to Obamacare and its destructive impact on the lives of millions of Americans, you may have missed this one. General Motors can no longer be called Government Motors. The Treasury has sold the remainder of its stake in GM. And despite the president's promise that we would get all of our money back from the huge union-favoring, bondholder-busting bailout of the automaker, despite Obama's promise in 2010, we lost about $10.5 billion on the stock sale. $10.5 billion. Well, come on, it's just a drop in the bucket. And we can't sign off for today without calling your attention to this seasonal goodie from the big lefty website Slate.com. A writer named Aisha Harris is making the case that Santa Claus should no longer be depicted as a white man. Instead, we should see Santa as a penguin, a jolly old black and white penguin. penguin, because that fat white guy, don't you know, can't truly warm the hearts of little kids of color. Color us, ho, 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 no, no, no. And that is Liberty News TV for today. I'm Norvell Rose. Thanks so much for joining us, and we do hope to see you right back here next time.